Hello, Feral friends. Welcome back to Feral. I'm your host, Savana, Montana, and today I'm a shit show. So, long story short, last week's episode didn't upload, so I'm jumping on in the fourth quarter, trying to get this shit going for you guys because you need a new episode tomorrow, and I don't want to fail you. So, here I am, trying to make it work. What we're going to talk about today is kind of basically what I went through today. Getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Like in this moment right now, oh shit, my podcast didn't upload, or my episode didn't get edited, or this isn't on time, or that went missing, yada, yada, yada. It could be a million things. Could be in your personal life too. But just going with the flow and being in the uncomfort. It sucks sometimes, but getting comfortable being uncomfortable is so fucking necessary in life. I can't even begin to tell you. If it wasn't for the uncomfortability that I'm going through in my life right now on this very show, in this very moment, I wouldn't be who I am, and I wouldn't be getting stronger at who I am and being better and better every single day. So, that being said, I'm kind of getting my ass kicked a little bit, and I want to talk to you about it. In short, today's episode is all about how getting uncomfortable kicked my ass into fifth gear and why it's necessary to force yourself into being uncomfortable. So now I'm getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Here we go. I'm just going to give you a preface of how my morning went. So I was at the gym with my best friend, and I was headed back from Fort Lauderdale to Boca, and I got a text message from Antonio, who runs the behind the scenes of my show. And he goes, "Hey, editing doesn't have your video. I just want to make sure everything uploaded okay, this, that, the next thing." I was under the impression that editing had already had it on Tuesday of last week. Clearly, I missed the boat on that and totally misunderstood. So now here I am recording an episode on the fly to get it over last minute. But in these moments, you could just crumble, or you could be like, oh, well, I'll just post something next week, or I'll just do a late episode, or I just don't want to be too hard on myself because, well, maybe I have too much shit going on today, or maybe this is what I had planned. Anything that was planned is no longer, and I have to totally shift gears and figure it out. Impromptu, last minute, fourth quarter kind of shit. So when you care about something big enough, more than yourself, you just got to figure out how to make it work. And is it uncomfortable? Yes. Is it a shit show? Probably. But is it the right thing to do, even though it's not what you want to be doing and maybe it's not what you planned to do? Abso-freaking-lutely. So here I am. It's been a little bit chaotic, so I apologize if I seem out of sorts for you guys today. I'm a little out of whack myself, but we made it, and that's what matters. So, getting uncomfortable being uncomfortable, that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, because I had a bit of a breakthrough this morning, and I'm going to relate it to not only my business life, but also my personal life. So let's break it down. I've been in so many different situations, scenarios, life moments where I've had no choice but to be uncomfortable and get uncomfortable and just own my shit. And today was a really, really big one. So I have been independent for my entire adult life. And as we all have been through scenarios, trauma, breakups, shitty jobs, moving from state to state or city to city. None of that stuff is ever easy to do, but I have had a huge difficulty in my personal relationship as letting go and allowing my other half, my future husband, my fiance, to take over and be the full man in my life, to be masculine, to be in his energy and be the provider that he wants to be for me because I've been so independent. And I've had a lot of trauma from growing up and, you know, just always kind of having to do my own thing or wanting to do my own thing because I had it was a little bit of a mess. I don't want to get into that on this episode, but I was kind of all over the place growing up. And as soon as I turned 18, I was like, that's it. I'm done. No one's telling me what to do anymore. I'm going to figure this shit out on my own. If it's the last thing I do, I don't want anybody's help. I don't want to take from anybody. I don't want to feel like a burden. I'm going to work and I'm going to take care of myself, and I'll keep my head above water if it's the last thing I do. So not to say that people didn't help me and I didn't have friends and family and some sort of support system, but for the most part, I felt really, really lonely in my 20s, especially in my early 20s. But fast forward to today, now I'm engaged. I'm with a super successful entrepreneur, macho man, and I stopped making an income about a year ago now. So July will be next week. So yeah, we're coming up on a year that I stopped working in the business with him. So I used to run dispositions for his real estate investment company. And it was either we continue working together or we stay in a relationship together, but both wasn't going to work in that situation. So obviously we stuck with the relationship and I bowed out of the business. And here we are today. But since then, I have kind of coasted, just living off my savings, doing my own thing. I spent time to find myself, if you will. And then at the end of last year, I really started focusing on my personal brand. Now, spring of 2025, podcast. Also spring of 2025, monthly women's events that I host locally in Boca, where I live. It was really, really hard for me to let go of my independence and ask for help from a significant other because I've had so many traumatic relationships before this, and I never wanted to rely on a man, and I wasn't raised to rely on anybody but myself. It was, work hard, bring home the bacon for yourself, do your own thing. I had so much trauma from having other people control my life that I never wanted to give up that control again. So I knew that if I always took care of myself and I always did well for me, or even just keeping my head above water, that was good enough for me. I was good with the bare minimum for myself, which is sad to say, but it's the truth. But as long as I was taking care of me, I felt safe. So being in a situation where I'm just coasting, I'm living off my savings, I'm burning through money, you start to freak out a little bit when it gets closer and closer, and you watch those numbers start to dwindle, and you burn one bank account and you go through the other savings and yada, yada, yada. And indirectly, it really affected my relationship with my fiance, which is horrible. And it's sad to say because I don't want that to affect him. And I didn't realize how much it was affecting him until having a conversation that we had today, where he's totally fine with helping me. He's totally fine with covering my overhead and absorbing the bills that I have every month, not just because he knows that I'm not making an income, but that also makes him feel better about himself as a provider, as a fiance, as the man of my life. I'm allowing him to be in that masculine energy and step fully into my feminine energy, where I'm not worried about certain things because I can focus on other things. The things that he doesn't want to worry about, I can worry about because they're not that big of a deal to me, and things that are not that big of a deal to him but are to me, he can absorb that. That one thing being finances. And we've been together for 4 years. Yeah, we've been together for 4 years. That's super uncomfortable for me. Then this literally just happened today. This happened like 4 hours ago. Like, I'm sharing with you guys this in real time. I'm like out of my skin. We even made a deal that we're like, okay, anything that comes up in this moment or with this uncomfortability on either side, we've made a pact to just have the conversation. Because it's obviously my goal to be successful in the businesses that I am now running. I've not ever ran my own business before. Now I have a podcast. Now I have monthly events. I have a personal brand. It's the goal to be successful in all of the things that I'm doing and all of the new things that I'm embarking on. But I would rather spend what I have left putting it back into my businesses, giving back to you guys, being here, So Mickey Mouse things like monthly overhead or car payments or phone bills or insurances, anything like that. That's one less thing that I have to worry about because of him. That's uncomfortable for me because I'm handing over the control that I have of my own life into someone else's hands. But on the flip side, if I don't have that, if I don't put myself in the uncomfortable situation to win and have him win on his masculinity and me win in my femininity, then that would make our marriage much harder, because that's not what he wants in our marriage, and it's certainly not what I want either. So I have to now be comfortable living in this uncomfortable state until I get used to it, or until I start making more money, or and it could be a million different things. So in your personal life, take it from me, I can't even believe that I'm talking about this on the show. This is how, like, this makes my skin crawl. Like, this is not a fun topic for me, but that's why I'm sharing it with you guys, because I have to be feral. I have to be unapologetic. I have to be authentic with you guys, because these are real things that women deal with, especially American women. I mean, I love empowering other women. That's literally what my brand represents. So part of the empowerment is knowing when to say when and when to step into your feminine side, and not always having to be the masculine, especially when you have a man in your life, because you don't realize that you're kind of taking away some of his excitement in being in a relationship and being the man of your life. So in personal, I'm extremely uncomfortable right now. Like, even just thinking about it or sharing it with you guys, I'm like, holy shit, this is a new pond that I'm swimming in. And some people women specifically, are probably laughing at me like, this is not that big of a deal, Savannah. Like, I have had this conversation with my best friend, and she goes, this is what he wants to do. This is what he's supposed to do. You know, this is his thing. That's the kind of man that I'm with, though. Not everybody's the same. Not every relationship is the same. This is the only relationship that I've ever been in my life where I have been with a provider. I've never dated or been in a relationship with a provider prior to this. So it's all very new. Granted, I have been with this man for 4 years, but I've never passed over my expenses to a man or to another person at all, ever. So what this feeling is teaching me is that in order to grow and change in my personal life and in my relationship that matters to me more than anything, I have to put myself in an uncomfortable situation to learn and grow, because this is totally new ground for me. This is like going from 8th grade to your freshman year of high school. Like, it's all brand new. It's very different. Everything looks different. Everything feels different. My body's different. Like, everything about me, my hair stands on end. So that's a good thing more than it's a hard thing to deal with. I would rather go through what I'm going through and challenge myself to step into this new version of me, not just for me, but also for my relationship and for my future marriage that is to be. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Does it make me want to scream and run out the door and revert back to what I'm used to, which is doing my own thing and taking care of myself? Yes. But also, by doing so, what would that look like? That would look like me working for someone else again, maybe getting a 9-to-5 that I really don't want or am not passionate about, putting myself back into fast money, which would be completely ass backwards for who I am today and for my relationship that would just never work. So it makes more sense to put myself in a vulnerable place, in an uncomfortable situation, to grow and learn in a new avenue, because I don't want to go back to that. And if I had to go back to that, or if I chose to, not that I have to or I don't have to, if I chose that option, I wouldn't have as much time to be myself. I wouldn't have as much time to be here with you guys, to be on this show, to be building my podcast, to be hosting my monthly events, to be building my personal brand and giving more of myself to you guys every single day, which is exactly what I don't want. So I'm challenging myself to stick with this, be more vulnerable, in my relationship, and let my man be my man and fall into my femininity and see where it goes, because I'm not willing to risk everything that I've already started building to go backwards into an old version of myself. And by moving into this new version of myself, I'm challenging me. I'm scaring the shit out of me. I'm stepping into something new. It's uncharted water. We'll see where it goes, but this is part of it. This is part of betting on yourself. There is beauty in the uncomfort. There is winning in the scarcity. I'm terrified. Terrified. He even asked me point blank, he said, "Are you scared?" And I said, 1000% I'm scared. But I was also scared to start my podcast. I was scared to start the show and sit in front of a camera and talk to myself for an hour, even though I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to you guys. But in the moment, I'm just sitting here alone. Weird, awkward, sometimes. I get used to it though. I'm getting my sea legs. I was scared to start hosting monthly events for women. Well, what if the women don't like me? Well, what if they don't understand my purpose? What if they don't grasp the concept of why I want to be here and why I want to bring us all together? Scary. Scared the shit out of me, but guess what? I still host an event every single month. I don't care if 2 people show up. I don't care if 10 people show up. I'm still hosting the event because it matters to me. And without doing that, I'm not serving my community. I'm not giving back to you guys. I'm not bringing people together, women together. That defeats the purpose of my brand. It defeats the purpose of why I'm here. So I have to keep betting on myself. Yes, is it scary? Absolutely. Totally worth it though. Totally worth it. Same thing with social media branding. Savana, Montana. I still have to post. I still have to put myself out there. I still have to go live. Is it uncomfortable every single time? No, not anymore, because I have enough repetition that the more you do something, the less scary it gets. But do I get uncomfortable when I throw a camera in front of my face and start running my mouth? Yes. Why? Because not everybody's going to like what I have to say. Maybe I drop too many F-bombs. Maybe somebody doesn't like my point of view. Maybe people really like my point of view and that totally takes off. And that's a win for the day or a win for the week or a win for the month. But you never know. So it's uncomfortable. It's scary as shit. But that's the best part, because I'm also communicating to my world and the universe and God and all of the things that I'm willing to put myself out there and become better and learn from my mistakes and figure this shit out on the go in order to see where it's going to take me. That's worth it. So whether it's in business or in personal, challenge yourself to be uncomfortable. Because if you're comfortable, you're not moving as fast as you could or going into the direction that you might want to be going into. Comfortability for me is just its own cage lined with velvet. You're like, oh, it's so comfy in here. I love this comfy room. It's so beautiful. It's so me. I've built it all perfect for myself. It's still a fucking cage. It's just lined with velvet walls. That's what comfortability is. Remember that. The next time you're comfy, look around and say, you know what? Maybe this is a cage. Maybe I'm boxing myself in. I need to get the fuck out of here and I need to go change some shit. I need to go make myself uncomfortable. I need to go see what's out there. And if it doesn't work out, you can always go back, or you can always challenge yourself in a new way. Your comfortable box will still be there when you get out of it if you want it to be. Highly don't recommend, but could be. If it doesn't work out in a relationship, or if it doesn't work out in a business, or if it doesn't work out with a brand, or if it doesn't work out with a job or with a family member or whatever it is that you're working through, that's okay. It either isn't going to work out because it wasn't meant to be, or you can always revert back to where you started and then build up enough courage to go again. Not the avenue that I recommend, but it is possible. So it's like moving away. Your home will always be there. Go explore. Go try something new. Submerge yourself into something that's different, because the difference is where you're going to win. That's how you become comfortable in the uncomfortable. I think what I'm about to say really applies in any area of your life, but specifically in relationships and in business. There has been so many times where I wanted to throw in the towel. So many times where I was like, fuck this, I want to quit. This sucks. This is hard. I don't like it. There are times where I have thrown in the towel, especially in business, not so much in relationship, obviously, or I wouldn't be engaged today. But it gets hard. It gets messy. It gets intimidating. And then you just want to shrivel up and you just want to go back to where you were, but you can't give up. You just have to push through, even when you don't want to. And usually it's the parts and the moments when you're facing that adversity or that moment that you don't want to push through. That's the pivotal moment. It's that moment that if you choose to overcome it and you choose to push through and just survive the uncomfortability a little bit longer, that's where the win is on the other side. That's where all the beauty comes out, because you're showing yourself, I'm willing to keep going through it and nothing's going to stop me. And whatever that force is going to give up. And you're like, all right, I made it through. Here I am. But you can't give up. You have to keep pushing through. You have to force yourself to be uncomfortable, because you have to understand that the other side of that uncomfortability is the greener grass. And then as you go through that grass is going to get brown, and then you're going to have to go through another level of uncomfortability. But as long as you're willing to do it once, you should be able to prove to yourself that you're willing to do it again. So in relationships or in business, when it gets hard or when it gets sticky or when it gets unfun, mundane, and boring, just keep going, because that's just a test from the world wondering if you're going to keep going. Does that make sense? Also, I want to share with you guys getting uncomfortable in business. Getting uncomfortable also at the same time, what I'm doing right now, how getting uncomfortable with myself and putting myself out there and building a business, building multiple businesses at the same time, something that I'm totally a fish out of water with, how it's super necessary to also get comfortable being uncomfortable when you want to bet on yourself and when you want to win in life and do something completely outside of the box. In business, I would say it's still intimidating and uncomfortable to be in the messy parts of things, but I have learned very quickly to use that discomfort as power. I use it more as a strategy, not as a downfall or a place that I don't want to be, but it didn't start that way. When I first started my show, I was so nervous. I was so scared. I literally talked myself out of it for 3 years. That's crazy. Same thing with the events. Like hosting a monthly event, I physically have to show up and see all of these women. And they came there for me. And then they sit down at the table and I'm like, well, what the hell are we doing here? What's going on, Savannah? You brought us all together. Tell us why we're here, you know? So there's a lot of uncomfortability facing it in business or even social media. Like I said earlier, putting yourself out there is not easy. It's uncomfortable. You don't know which avenue you're going to go. You don't know how people are going to respond to you, how they're going to react, who's going to flood your DMs. Is it inappropriate? Is it offensive? Is it gross? Is it mean? Is it positive? There's so many outcomes that it could be, but they're all necessary. And it just thickens your skin. It hardens you as you go. Or listening to other people's podcasts. It's a great example. I listen to other people's shows all the time. I'm inspired by other women who speak on mics, other men who speak on mics. What are they talking about? How are they impacting me? What did they say that really hit home? How can I better understand myself, understand my messaging, understand why I'm here so I can better help the people that are around me? It's intimidating. It's uncomfortable. Even in that, because I chose a path that's super saturated. And so many people won't get into business or get into a dream of theirs or a job or a position because it's saturated. Well, everybody said it's a super saturated market, so I don't want to do that. That's bullshit. Do it anyway. Do it better than them. Put your money where your mouth is. If you think that this is what you want to do, or you think you have a standing chance, or just something that you're super passionate about, go for it. No one's going to help you get there. No one's going to stop you from getting there either. The only person that's going to get you there is you. So do it anyways. Fuck what anybody else has to say. They don't know. People will talk about markets and businesses and jobs and careers that they're not even in. that they've never been in their life, but they'll tell you, oh, it's very saturated. Oh, it's very difficult. Yeah, well, everybody has a podcast, or everybody has a personal brand, or everybody is in personal growth, or everybody hosts events. If I listened to when people said that to me, I wouldn't have walked out of the fucking door. I wouldn't have got out of bed in the morning. Not that people were telling me that, because I don't really listen to too much outside commentary. Social media is a whole nother ballgame. But don't listen to people who doubt you. If I listened to the people who doubted me, I would not be sitting in front of this mic today. I would not be here on this show. You wouldn't be hearing my voice. Your voice matters just as much as mine. Is it uncomfortable as shit to come out here and talk? Yes. But is it better? Is it more uncomfortable for me to sit at home and wonder what I would say on the show? Way more uncomfortable, because then I have to live with that regret. Then I have to live with, what if I did it? Like I did for 3 years. Well, what if I had a show? Well, what if I had a brand? Well, what if I brought women together? What if I hosted my own events instead of hosting other people's events? You know, I would rather put myself in the situation to win and be uncomfortable in trying than be uncomfortable wondering what it could have been or what it would be. Because the sooner that I put myself in that scary place and I put my money where my mouth is and I show the fuck up for myself, then I know. And if it all fails and if it doesn't work out, then that was just a part of my journey. But I wouldn't know unless I got myself here. So I had to keep pushing through and moving forward through that uncomfortable place in order to be here and get further and have more goals and higher goals and be more successful and go further and further in life every single day, every single year, no matter what comes at me. I just got to keep going. And so do you. You can do it. Don't listen to anybody's shit. If anybody tells you not to focus on your dreams and not to bet on yourself and go for the gold, cut those people out of your life. Not what this episode is about, but the uncomfortability is where we win. Ask me how I know. I'm literally doing it right now. And on a side note, being in the uncomfortable place of your life, especially when you're following your dreams or you're doing something that you finally want to be doing or finally want to just create in your real life, you're uncomfortable because it's real. It's scary because it's happening. You're like, it's no longer a dream. It's no longer something I think about. It's not something that's going to happen in the future. It's happening right now. And it's happening right now because you're making it happen right now. You're doing that for yourself. So you should be proud of yourself. And if you're not doing that yet, let this be a message to you to put your ass in fifth gear. Let me light the fire under your ass and keep it moving. Make it happen. That's where you win. The uncomfortable parts of all of your dreams are where real shit happens. That's the raw, real truth of it. It's not always fun. It's not always pretty. It's messy most of the time. But the uncomfortability is the real part. You just got to remember that. But you got to put yourself in the situation to be uncomfortable first. It takes a lot to invest in yourself, not just monetarily, but also mentally. Following your dreams is fucking expensive. It's not cheap. It's not cheap to follow your dreams. And you will watch a bank account dwindle. And you will be sad. And you'll be scared. And you'll be forgetful. And you'll be messy. And you'll not have it all figured out. Take it from me. I'm building the plane on the way down with you guys. In real time. You guys are watching me figure this shit out right in front of your very eyes. I don't have it all figured out. I'm not perfect. I'm so imperfect. It's mind-blowing. But I just keep going. I'm just like, okay, fuck it. My episode didn't upload. Leaving Fort Lauderdale, race to the office. I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about today. But I'm going to do it. I'm just going to make sure that it's done. Because I have to show up for you guys. Not only do I have to show up for myself, but I have to show up for you. That's an investment in itself. It's an investment of time. It's an investment of money. It's an investment of deep understanding. You really start to figure yourself out when you focus on yourself and you scare yourself and you start new things and you meet new people and you do all the things that you never thought that you would, that you dreamed about. It's a full-on investment of every single part of your soul, every part of your being, your relationships, the world around you, your fucking bank account. It's stressful. It's not easy. But I know and I believe in the long run that it's going to be 1000% worth it. And until I get there, I'll just keep going. I'll just be right here. I'll just be doing my thing every single day until it pans out. But one thing is for sure, I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to let the uncomfortability overwhelm me or stop me from showing up for you guys or following my dreams or figuring it out. I will just keep building the plane on the way down. That is exactly what I'm doing. So if you don't feel like you have it figured out or you don't know where you're going and you just know what you want to do, my best advice is just to start doing it. Don't overthink it. Don't organize it. Don't get paralysis analysis. Don't have it all figured out. Don't have it all figured out. Yes, that is my advice. Don't figure it all out. Once you start actually doing it and you scare the shit out of yourself and say, oh my God, I've actually started this show, or I've actually started this job, or I've actually started this creative, or this dream, or this relationship, or whatever that is for you, then just figure it out as you go. That's the best way to learn. Because the truth is, nobody has a fucking idea of how to do anything that they're doing until they start it. And then they screw that up and they're like, shit, okay, I screwed that up. That's not the way to do it. Let's try this instead. All right, that wasn't the way either. Let's try this. Ah, that worked. Okay, so let's keep doing that. But we blew this up on the back end by accident when we did that. Okay, so then how do we figure this out? Because that's clearly not going to work anymore. That's how you do it. It's not pretty. It's messy. And it's not fun, and it's expensive, and it's a lot of heartache, and it's a lot of sad moments, and it's a lot of stress. But if it's for you, all of those things are weightless in comparison to the dreams and goals that you have. So just remember that. Get ready to get uncomfortable, ladies and gentlemen. I think as human beings, we really just cling to comfort as a sense of control, kind of like me with my finances. Well, if I have everything and I have to cover everything and pay for everything and figure it all on my own, then I have control of it. So if I hand this over to you and this is like, these are all my things, this is all, this is how I just have my independence and I keep myself going. If I give that away, then I feel like I'm giving away my control. That's not necessarily true, but it feels that way. You have to let go of a sense of control in order to find new power. I think ultimately it's kind of a safety thing too, because safety keeps us small. That's why being uncomfortable is so important in anything that you do. You kind of have to drown yourself in it. And that's what I'm doing because I've come so far with building my businesses and building myself up in return. I'm just cannonballing in all the way. Now I'm copying, pasting everything that I've done on the show, in real life, in business, into my personal life, now into my personal relationship. Because the things that are not working for me and not serving me and I'm not serving, I have to learn to let go of, and I have to try something new because I'm going back to my safe place, which is me counting on me all the time. I don't want help from anybody. I don't want to ask for anything. I don't want to be too much. I don't want to be not enough. I don't want to lose my sense of worth, self-worth. All of those things, those are just self-limiting beliefs. And I won't really know the reality of that situation until I actually do the footwork to change it, to see, hey, maybe this might work. And if it doesn't work, great. I'll figure out a different way to make the money that I need to continue throwing it into my businesses and to cover my expenses and feel like I have my big girl pants on and I don't need anybody else and all those things. But I don't think that that's the reality of the situation. And I'm challenging myself. I can go back, I can revert back, but I'm in the era of growing and changing and learning new things. So by doing that, I have to focus on the uncomfortable shit and try it. If it doesn't work out, if all else fails, I always have me. I know what I'm capable of. You know what you're capable of as a person. If people come and go in your life, if your relationship doesn't work out, if you're in a relationship right now where your man takes care of everything and you're just staying because you think that, oh, well, I'm going to have to do things that I don't want to do, so I'm just going to stay in this unhappy relationship. Fuck that. Don't do that. You got yourself to the point where you're at today. So you can always count on yourself. You're always going to be able to rely on you. So if you're having issues being uncomfortable or comfortable with finances, relationships, with family members, self-expression, with codependence, anything that you're going through right now, I challenge you to bet on yourself and do the exact opposite of what you're feeling safe with. If it's making you feel safe and it's what you've always done, challenge yourself to do the opposite. Get comfortable being uncomfortable and see where it takes you. The safe place can always be there. You can always revert back. But in order to change and grow and learn and experience new things and enter a new version of yourself, you've got to go through the uncomfortability and you've got to get out of your shell. Remember that beautiful little box that you call comfort, is just a cage, lined with velvet. Velvet walls, super cute, super comfy, but it's a cage nonetheless. And it's a cage that you cannot live in any longer. If you're waiting to feel ready, you're going to stand in line forever. You will wait forever to feel ready. There's no moment that I felt ready doing anything that I've done or anything that I'm currently doing or anything that I'm going to do in the future. I know that I'm not going to feel that sense of readiness. Like it's time, it's here, I'm ready to go. Never happened for me. All the scary shit happened for me though. The uncomfortability, the unknowns, the scarcity, the fearful mindset, all of that, I'm living in it right now. But now that I'm already doing it, I'm like, well, I guess I'm ready for this shit because here I am. Ta-da. This is what you get. And I really want you guys to remember that discomfort is basically the universe's receipt for telling you, congratulations, you just purchased change. That's what you just bought. Your uncomfortability, that discomfort that you feel, that unfun place to be, that's your payment for change. That means you're growing. That means you're doing something worth doing. You're learning, you're changing, you're growing, you're becoming a new version of yourself. And actually the other day I was driving on I-95 and I was so uncomfortable and I was sitting and I was like, gosh, I feel horrible. I'm so nervous. I have so much anxiety. I just don't feel good. This is horrible. And then I remembered in that moment, what do I tell you guys? What do I talk to my family about, what my friends about when they're going through a hard time, or what I preach on my show or on social media? When you're uncomfortable is when you're changing. That's literally while I'm sitting in the car, I'm like, this is a good thing. What I feel right now is actually good. But the fact that I was able to think about that in the moment and say, my uncomfortability means that I'm changing. And that's something that I should be looking forward to. That means I'm doing something right. I'm uncomfortable because I'm winning. I'm uncomfortable because I'm doing the right thing. I'm not shitting you when I say this. Instantly, my anxiety went away. Instantly. And I take it from me as somebody who has suffered from panic attacks and anxiety attacks and depression and all those things for a long time in my life. Just having that conversation with myself and knowing that in my discomfort was the right thing to do. It's the right place to be and the way to feel. Because I feel so uncomfortable, that means I'm doing the right thing. That's all I needed to know in that moment. I affirmed that for myself. That was a breakthrough moment for me. So I hope you guys learned something or gained something, or if you want to judge me or talk shit or ask me questions or any of the things, you guys know where to find me. Please share this episode with someone who you think might take from it or benefit or needs to hear some of the things that I'm talking about. Maybe someone who's going through what I'm going through right now. Maybe someone who's starting a business. Maybe someone who's joining a podcast. Maybe someone who is nervous to put themselves out there or show their authenticity to the world, or struggles with getting uncomfortable with themselves and being in the vulnerable state and that headspace and that mindset. Please feel free to shoot this to any of your friends or family or random people that you know that may benefit. I would love that. Please give the show 5 stars if you like hanging out with me. I'll definitely see you guys next week. You can follow me on social media at Savana_Montana. Also follow the show at Feral with Sav. You guys can email me, Feral at Savannah Montana. All the things, like, comment, follow, subscribe, DM me, email me, all of the things. I hope you guys enjoyed this show as much as I have today. Super spur of the moment. I'm sorry for the messiness. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry, because we're not sorry on the show. We're unapologetic as fuck. We're feral. But it kind of went haywire, and I'm happy that it did, because I got to give you the fully feral version of myself today in a wacky sort of way. So until then, stay feral, and I will see you guys next week.